This is Tech Now with David Perry, author, recruitment professional, community leader, and we're dealing with a very important topic. It has to do with talent. David is going to be a keynote at Tech Tuesday coming up in February, so we wanted to start the conversation early. So David, my question to you, David, is I'm a high-tech company. What tips can you give me so that I can attract and keep the best talent? What's the magic juice here?
It's got to show a return on value, at the end of the day. And too often, business owners view the acquisition of staff as a very simple process of expansion. And treating an executive hire like any other type of investment, you should measure the returns you get from it. And with that in mind, what we always suggest to clients is that they create a position profile or a success profile that clearly defines the executive role and exactly what the business benefit the person in that role should create for the company, and to tie the role itself to the business strategy. Now that sounds logical, but 90% of the time that doesn't happen. So being clear on how the executive will contribute to the bottom line is critical to understanding who to hire. And that position profile that you develop, if you need to tie the KPIs to the business plan itself and measure those things. Those are the things that need to be measured, and those KPIs should be in that position profile, which is more than just a simple job description. The position profile or the success profile actually becomes almost like a checklist. So you'll know that you're hiring the right person when you've got all the boxes checked off. And when you're doing hiring this way, you have to focus on hiring the best person. And that's not necessarily the best person who's available now looking for a job. And that leads into my second point, which most people gloss over or don't even think about. And that is you need to focus on being someone like me. You need to learn to focus and find people who aren't looking for jobs. And it's a seller's market. It's been a seller's market for leadership. Well, I've been in this 30 years, and I would argue for the last 30 years. In the last 5 years, it's been brutal because global expansion, whether companies are coming into our territory or we're going into another territory, global expansion is a major issue. And all companies globally are looking for an edge, and that means hiring the best people. And so you're not just competing anymore with someone down the street that makes the same thing you do in the same city. You're now competing for talent globally. And Brazil, Russia, China, India, they've all gone after people in North America quite successfully. So the very best candidates are very rarely looking, if ever at all. So what we always suggest is whether you hire a consultant or you do it yourself, you want to establish a dedicated team of your best people to court these people. And I mean court them long before, as much as a year or two before you actually need them. And before you go out courting, you have to ask yourself a couple of questions. And the first question is your challenge, is the reason why you're going to get this individual, is it compelling enough for someone to actually stop, look, listen, and interview it for it? Does your company have a compelling story? And most entrepreneurs are great when they go out to fund their venture. The challenge is you need to take that attitude when you're packaging your opportunity. You need to take all that marketing expertise that you've developed when you go out funding, and you have to put some of that together to go after the right people. So do you have a compelling story? Is it going to be appealing to the top executives? And will your executive team, the one you have right now, will that actually inspire someone to come and work with you? I mean, the old expression is everybody wants to play on Gretzky's team. Well, everybody does for a reason, because he's a winner. Or Michael Jordan, you name it. So does your executive team inspire that kind of confidence? And you have to ask yourself honestly, after you've spec out the whole profile, you have to sit back and ask yourself honestly, would I take this job? The way it's spec'd out right now, the people that I have on board, the story that I'm telling, if I was a fabulous candidate, and I am because I'm the CEO, would I take this job? And if the answer is no, then you have to stop, you have to revisit those issues, and you have to craft it so it is a compelling opportunity. And you do that before you go to the market. And because you're going after people that have jobs already. 99.9% of the time, to infinity, the best people already have a job. And the best people have great jobs. I mean, if you look at the bell curve for people, the best people are over here. Everybody else is, you know, medium to very good. If medium to very good is good enough for your company, then you can advertise. You don't have to take all these precautionary notes. But if you're looking for the best of the best of the best, if you're looking for someone to, you know, give you a 10x return on your investment, or a 10x growth over the next 3 to 5 years, they already have a job. You got to go find them, and you got to court them. And that's the last one, really, is you have to be prepared to court top candidates at the right time. And you know, headhunters do this all the time. We talk to executives day in and day out. We know who they are, where they are, what turns their crank, what gets them really excited, and we understand when the time is right. So we connect, you know, them with employers if the time is right. So you can do that as an employer. You can dedicate a small team or even one individual to find out who the movers and shakers are in your business, and to track them, and to have you accidentally, you know, bump into them, meet them, have reason to have a coffee. And that should be somebody's job all the time, because so you're taking the same approach as an executive.
CATA's advocacy, where we're trying to move Canada to #1, and really you're looking at 3 themes. One theme would be marketplace. You have to sell your products. Second theme would be access to capital. People need money to grow. And the third component is talent. So I think if you combine those in a smart way, we actually will advance our standing as a competitive innovation nation. I think the people at Tech Tuesday are going to like your presentation. I think you get lots of questions, and I think you've done a very good job in advancing some guidance on how we can build high-tech, talented teams in Canada to move us forward.